Hello everybody, my name is Andy. Welcome to the introduction of my online course. In this introduction I will talk about the theory of burnout, the 5 stages of my burnout, and the 3 reasons why I burnt out. But first of all, I have a question for you. Who panics when this happens to your phone? Who charges their phone on a regular basis? I hope with this online course you'll realize that you should treat yourself better than your phone and that you have to recharge on a regular basis, not to burn out. And with this I would like to jump into the theory of burnout and firstly talk about the definition of burnout. According to the World Health Organization, burnout is a syndrome conceptualized by chronic workplace stress that has not been managed successfully. It's characterized by 3 dimensions. There's the exhaustion, then the distancing from one's job, the negativity towards one's job, and the reduced efficacy. You're less productive in the end. Then how do you measure a burnout? There's a Maslach burnout inventory that Christina Maslach, one of the leading scientists in this field, has developed. In a sense, this is a self-assessment of 25 questions that the person affected has to answer themselves. So depending on that person's state of mind and so on, it's not the most reliable tool, but it gives you an indication on how burnt out you are and what of the 3 dimensions is very dominant with you. Who is at fault when somebody burns out? That's the question I get asked the most. And the answer really is, it really depends, because different people react differently to different situations. In the team that I burnt out, we were 9 people in total, and 2 of us burnt out. So the environment was at fault for my burnout, yes, but for others it wasn't so bad. I had a guy in my team that came to me and said, "Andy, you seem so stressed, so tense. Why are you so engaged in what's going on here?" And I said that because my father was an epileptic. I joined this pharmaceutical company because I saw that the medicine that we developed helped people increase their quality of life. And he looked at me and goes, I care about 2 things, money and women. He was a great guy and a great colleague, but he will not burn out anytime soon, or not likely burn out anytime soon. What happens if you boil a potato? It gets soft. What happens if you boil an egg? It gets hard. And sometimes with the potatoes and sometimes with the eggs. What causes someone to burn out? And if we look at the different activity levels that we can have, at first we start with boredom, where we lack all motivation and are completely disinterested in anything. Then there's normal activity, where you have tense phases but regularly can recharge and relax. Then there are challenging phases where the activity levels are increased and you can't always recover from some stress. And then there's the overwhelming phase. In the overwhelming phase, you are overwhelmed with the tasks that you need to do, with timelines that are creeping up left, right and center, and you start to become nervous, tense, sleeping habits are going out of the window. And if you stay too long in this overwhelming phase, then you burn out. The trick is to course correct when you're in the challenging phase, to realize, okay, if this goes on for too long, I'll be overwhelmed and I'll be more at risk of burning out. Therefore, I try to advocate, be aware of your stress levels and react on time. What is the process of somebody burning out? Normally, it's somebody who is somebody who wants to do a good job, somebody who wants to prove themselves, and somebody who really likes doing a good job. But if you have a lot on your plate and lots is going on, you start forcing things. Stuff that you used to do very easily don't happen very easily anymore. You can't manage them so easily anymore. And you start to force things. Because you force a lot, you start to neglect your own needs. Yes, guys, go for lunch. I'm going to grab myself a sandwich and eat at my desk. Or, honey, I won't be coming home for dinner because I need to finish something. Or, I won't go to the gym today because I need to have a presentation ready tomorrow. If then somebody comes up to you and says, or asks you, is there a problem? Are you stressed? You answer, no, everything is fine. I just have a lot to do. It'll pass. But subconsciously you realize maybe something is not okay, which is when you withdraw yourself. You go out less and less, see your friends less and less, join your colleagues less and less for lunch. And this is when you realize, something is maybe off, but you can't quite figure out why. Then there's a change in habits. Things that you enjoy doing, you don't enjoy doing anymore, or not so much. For me, that was cooking. I really like to cook, and I like to experiment with different menus, with different recipes. When I was burning out, I basically provided my family with pasta and finished tomato sauce, or we ordered in pizza. And because this cycle is very tiring, you start to feel exhausted. Really, every little task that you do is hard work. I'm now more or less shaved. My wife is very kind and reminds me every now and again that I have to shave. And these days I do this without any problem at all. But when I was burning out, I really struggled with every little task that I was asked to do. And even when my wife asked me to shave, I would be like, not another task that I have to do. Even though it was a pretty easy and quick task to do. Because of the exhaustion and everything that's going on, you're going to have some depressive episodes. You ask yourself, is there anything that you can still do well? Is there anything that you still can manage? The cycle, this process that I just described, is a very good intro to the first 3 phases of my burnout, and that's what I would like to talk about next. See you in the next clip.